From buying a whole neighborhood to spending millions for a single letter, Elon Musk, aka the richest man in the world, has a lot of money to spend. But some of his purchases make no sense, not just because of the insane price tag, but also because of the insane backstories. Not one, not two, but 4 adjoining mansions. Millionaires like to flaunt their wealth, and billionaires like to keep a low profile. And this might explain why Musk's taken up residence in a tiny prefab rental near his SpaceX launch site in Boca Chica, Texas. Billionaires, they're just like us. However, despite cultivating the image of a minimalist, Musk does like to spend his billions where it matters. And apparently, the deal he got buying 4 adjoining Bel Air mansions was just too good to pass up on. Bel Air, Los Angeles is one of the most expensive residential neighborhoods in the world, where you'll find rock legends, tech giants, and, of course, Musk's fellow billionaires. Between 2012 and 2019, Musk bought 4 adjoining estates in the neighborhood for a combined estimated value of over $74 million. Each property stood out on its own. One was a Georgian-style mansion once owned by Gene Wilder, another a futuristic cliffside fortress with a 2-story library and private gym. One estate included a private vineyard, while another had a massive home theater, wine cellar, and panoramic views of the Pacific Ocean. If anyone else had bought 4 mansions altogether, it would have been front-page news. But we're talking about the richest man in the world here. The fact that he bought the mansions wasn't what was newsworthy. No, it was the fact that he sold all 4 of them just a year later that puzzled everyone. In 2020, he tweeted, "I am selling almost all physical possessions, will own no house." True to his word, he listed all his properties and eventually sold them off, citing a desire to unburden himself and focus fully on his missions at Tesla, SpaceX, and Neuralink. Today, Musk's primary residence is a modest $50,000 home in Texas. It's small, it's self-contained, and intentionally minimal. It's great that he wanted to be near SpaceX headquarters, but did he have to sell his homes to finance it? The Gulfstream G650ER that'd take people a lifetime to buy. Yes, Elon Musk has chosen to live in a modest home, letting go of material possessions for the greater good, leaving a mark on the planet. Unfortunately, Musk has been accused of leaving behind a massive carbon footprint as well because of his frequent travels. He might downgrade from a mansion to a modest home, but when it comes to traveling, Elon Musk isn't flying coach. Next up in the billionaire's list of insane purchases, we're talking about his Gulfstream G650ER, one of the many private jets in his fleet. Yup, one of several, but undoubtedly the most expensive one, valued at around $70 million. A pretty far cry from the minimalist image that he projects, right? This jet isn't just a luxurious toy. It's a flying command center built for speed, range, and non-stop global access. The G650ER can fly over 7,500 nautical miles without refueling, which means Musk can go from Texas to Shanghai or Los Angeles to Dubai in one uninterrupted stretch. And he does very frequently. At one point, he reportedly took more than 250 flights in a single year. Inside, the jet is exactly what you'd expect from someone juggling Tesla, SpaceX, Neuralink, and a dozen other ventures. Think plush leather seats that recline into beds, a full galley kitchen, granite sinks, and 3 separate living zones for working, dining, and sleeping. He even used the plane to test out Starlink's airborne internet, essentially turning it into a flying tech lab. The supercar he crashed. If you gave anyone else a McLaren F1, they'd refuse to take it out of the garage. One small scratch and it'd be like you lost over $100,000 right there. Musk's journey of owning and then crashing the McLaren F1 is a pretty interesting one. It was one of his first extravagant purchases, bought back in 1999 when he sold his first company, Zip2, for over $300 million. It was a treat for the millionaire who decided to buy one of the fastest and most luxurious cars money could afford at the time. Only 106 of the McLaren F1s were ever built. So, factor that in when we tell you that Musk ultimately crashed the supercar. Despite owning one of the most coveted cars in the world, Musk didn't let it sit in a garage collecting dust. He drove it, a lot. No trailer, no bodyguards, just Musk, the open road, and all that horsepower. In fact, he used to drive it between Los Angeles and San Francisco with fellow tech entrepreneur and PayPal co-founder Peter Thiel riding shotgun. The two were on their way to a meeting one day when Musk decided to punch it and show off the car's insane acceleration. Bad idea. At high speed, the car caught a groove in the road, spun out, and went airborne. Musk later admitted with a bit of a laugh that the car had a full 360 in the air and smashed into the ground. And guess what? The McLaren wasn't even insured. That's right, Elon Musk wrecked $1 million supercar without a lick of coverage. Total chaos. Thiel walked away unhurt, and Musk wasn't injured either, but the car wasn't so lucky. The front end was completely destroyed. But in true Musk fashion, he said, "You know, I didn't really care that much. The car wasn't made for safety. It was made for speed." A domain name richest man in the world, and he still had to plead to get the domain name that he wanted. When Musk took over the social networking site we all knew as Twitter, he had big plans for a complete revamp. The whole buyout was controversial, with Musk having one foot out the door from day one. Ultimately, though, he walked into HQ one day with his gizmos and gadgets and took up an office. That was the day Twitter became X. Now Musk likes to keep things simple. So simple, actually, that he thought the word Twitter would have been a mouthful. The problem was, the domain name for his social networking site already existed, and interestingly enough, he'd been the one to create it too. Back in 2017, Musk quietly purchased the domain from PayPal, a company he co-founded in the late 90s, for an undisclosed but reportedly 6 to 7-figure sum. That's right, he spent hundreds of thousands, possibly millions, just to reclaim a single letter on the internet. Why? Because to Musk, X means everything. For context, X.com was the name of the original online banking startup Musk launched in 1999, which later merged with Peter Thiel's Confinity to become what we now know as PayPal. When Musk was ousted as CEO, the name X.com was eventually shelved, but it stuck with him. Years later, when the domain became available, Musk jumped at the chance to buy it back, tweeting, "Thanks PayPal for allowing me to buy back X.com. No plans right now, but it has great sentimental value to me." Musk doesn't do anything without a bigger vision, even if it takes years to unfold. Fast forward to 2023, and suddenly, that old domain found new life. He rebranded Twitter as X, folded it into his broader ambitions for an everything app, and began transforming it into a platform for payments, media, AI, and more. Which one of Musk's bizarre purchases shocked you the most? Make sure to let us know in the comments down below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more, and we'll see you back here for another look into the lives of the uber rich.